Any requests for tonight? Okay. No requests. What else can I tell you? If you have not checked out my YouTube channel, check it out and subscribe, and then you'll get notifications when I drop new class recordings in there, because I'm doing that pretty regularly now. So, I mean, if you're interested in doing, recorded classes. Okay, let us begin on our backs tonight. So on our backs. All right, and as you're on your back, I just want you to connect with your body. And you all know the easiest way to do that, right? Find your breath. And go inside, close your eyes, and just observe your breath. So let's do an equal count, inhale, exhale, breath. Counting the inhale, holding it at the top for a second or two, exhaling it for the same count. Now try to keep your awareness, try to keep your mind at the point of your breath. And every time you follow that breath, you feel your body releasing, opening them up. Okay, opening up. What we're doing is we're just clearing the body. Okay, we're just opening it up before we move things around. Now slowly begin to turn your head from right to left. And as you're doing that, if you find some tight places, you can always stop there, take a few breaths at that spot. And when you come to the end, all right, I'm going to mute everyone just so that someone else doesn't take the screen. I forgot to do that. So as you turn your head from side to side, when you go as far to the right as you can, see if you cannot gently, and I mean really gently, get another millimeter or two out of it. And even if you have to stop and breathe there, even if it feels kind of tight, just stop and breathe there. And as you're moving from side to side, you can also bring attention every now and again to the forehead and the eyes, feel them melt. And now head back to center. Take your legs in, feet are parallel. Right knee comes up to your chest. Press that thigh into your chest. Now bring both arms up to the ceiling. Keep your shoulder blades connected to the ground. Don't pick them up. Slide your chin to your chest. Now bring your hands together, intertwine those fingers, and take a hold of the top of the right shin and press it down. Elbows are out to the sides. Use those biceps to help you here. Okay, be aware of that big crease at the bottom of your torso, top of your thigh, make it deeper. Now press your shoulders away from your ears as you press your elbows in close to your body. Breathe here. So you're going to feel that you're working out the shoulders and the arms in this pressing down movement. Yes. Now slide your left hand to the top of your right ankle. Grab a hold of it. Take your right hand to the inside of your right knee. Press it out to the side. Rotate that big thigh bone laterally to the right here. Take a few breaths here. Let the hip release into that. Now take your right hand next to your left hand. Bend both elbows to bring the heel up a little closer to your belly button or your chest. Chin to the chest again. That head tends to slide upward. Okay. Right hand takes a hold of the top of that ankle. Left arm reaches out to the side. T-pose. Okay, now you can either slide your hand down your leg or give yourself a yogi toe lock or grab the inside of that right thigh and open up that right leg out to the side. Yeah, open it as much as you can. Take your left hand to the top of the left hip bone to keep that put. Here we go. Some nice opening for the right inner thigh. Feel it soften into the shoulders, into the back of the head. Make this all about the leg, the groin. Take some good deep breaths, send them into that inner thigh. Okay, listen up. Flex your right heel a lot. Release your hand from that leg and circles with the right heel out to the side. Okay, so you're doing this weird little rotation in the hip here. All right, now take the heel to the ceiling and make those circles up to the ceiling. All right, draw your navel down to your spine while you do this. We're starting to work out the core already. And in fact, if you don't believe that you're using your core here, take your hands, take your left hand below your belly button, dig in with the fingertips. I want you to feel those abdominal muscles that are contracted and working here. Reverse the circle. And release. Take the back of your leg with both hands. Bend your elbows to the sides. And listen, that leg can be straight or the knee can be slightly bent. We're just opening up the back of the right thigh here. All right, those are your hamstrings. Now, take those elbows all the way out to the side. Draw your navel down. Keep your back as straight as possible. Flex your left heel and press it into the ground and lift your shoulders and your head off the ground here. Now bend the elbows some more. Take that leg a little closer to you. Oh yeah, hamstrings. Feel it? Take your head to the ground. Bend that knee. Release the right arm to a T-pose. Left hand comes over, grabs the side of that leg. You know what we're going to do. We're going to rotate the spine. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. After you have a full rotation, or as much as you're going to do tonight, soften into that left wing bone. Now, if your eyes aren't closed, close them now. Go inside and feel this and feel the breath as part of the pose, the movement of your belly. Release the leg back to center. Take it down to Shavasana and just open up here. Open up the legs, feet are apart. Listen up. I want you to take your right hand to your chest, left hand to your lower belly. Soften your elbows, let them drop. So if that right hand slips down to the right side of your chest, that's fine. Okay, now listen. I want you to really connect with a belly breath and understand what it is. All right, inhale here. Now exhale. Notice the left hand on the belly. Oh, I might have said the right hand on the belly. Whatever hand is on the belly, notice that one. Okay, really move the belly and feel that hand move up and down. That's a deep belly breath. Okay, now try to keep the breath in the chest, moving the belly minimally. Okay, that's not a belly breath. And that's the way most of us breathe during the day. Okay, now bring the airflow all the way down to the belly. Feel the hand lift and lower as you breathe way down there at the belly. So you can feel that in a belly breath, there's a deeper sense of release, relaxation, especially in that lower torso. All right, release the hands from your torso, bring your legs closer, feet are parallel, left knee comes up to the chest, it's bent, arms up to the ceiling, palms face each other. Bring the hands together, intertwine, send the palms into the shin, press the shin down. Press it down so that that thigh squeezes into the left side of your torso. Wiggle your chin to your chest. Make that crease deeper with more tension. Now, bring the elbows out to the sides. Push the shoulders away from your ears. Chin stays to the chest. Now, squeeze your elbows in. Breathe here. Nice release. We're just starting on that left side, left hip. Slide your right hand down till it gets to the top of your left ankle. Take the left palm to the inner thigh. Press that left knee out to the side. Few nice deep belly breaths here. Now take your left hand next to your right. Really grab a hold of the top of that ankle. And then bend the elbows so that you can pull the knee up closer to your belly. Chin to the chest again. Press the shoulders away from your ears. Okay, feel the energy in the shoulders and the arms making this happen. So this is an active stretch, right? Now, release your right arm to a T pose. The palm is up. Either just hang on to that leg from the inside or the thigh, or give yourself a yogi toe lock. Yogi toe lock is index finger and thumb wrapping around the big toe. Now open that leg out to the side. And soften into the upper back, into the wing bones. Right hand can be placed to the top of the right hip bone. All right. Now release the left hand. Flex the right heel a lot. Pull the navel down. Little circles to the side with that left heel. Reverse. Now straighten that leg, keep it straight, bring it up to the ceiling, make circles to the ceiling, onto the ceiling. Keep breathing through this. Notice how you're using your abdominal muscles to make this happen, also your lower back. Okay, reverse. So your entire core is being used here. All right. Quiet that leg. Grab a hold of it from behind. I'm intertwining my fingers, if you can do so. And then bend your elbows to bring that left thigh closer to your torso. And then you get to open up the back of that thigh. Now, for this one, I want you to close your eyes. And I just want you to be really aware of where you're sensing this, where those hamstrings are. So, from the knee to the hip, all along there, just feel that. All right, now bend that knee. Extend the left arm out, palm is up. Take the right arm over, grab the side of that leg, and we're going to twist to the right this time. Left leg comes over. So this one is a passive stretch. So once you get into position, Make everything really soft. Let your body grow accustomed to this twist. And then go inside and feel it. Notice the breath is part of the pose. And the deeper the belly breath, the more you're going to work more deeply into this pose. Because if you notice, that breath, that movement of your breath also slightly moves the hip. And so it affects lower back sensations, hip sensations. Release the right arm into a T pose. Knee comes back to center here. All right. Bring the right knee up. Grab a hold of the shins and press both thighs down into your belly. Now, draw your navel down and try to get your lower back into the mat. Keep it into your mat. Now straighten both legs. Flex both heels. Grab the backs of the legs. Okay, bend your elbows and come on up. Ooh, I forgot to do that on that one side. Okay, so listen, bend your right knee, bring your head down, bend your right knee, right leg to the ground. Grab a hold of the back of that left leg. Bend the elbows. I know, Chris, if you were here, you'd be helping me. Elbows to the sides. Soften your shoulders. Flex your right heel, press it into the floor. Now lift up. That's it. Oh, this is a nice segue because you know what? We're going to go straight into core. Stay here. Switch legs. Keep that left leg just slightly off the floor or as close as you can get it. Switch. So every time you switch, you get to grab the back of that leg and gently draw it toward you. Now, if this is too much for your neck, which it is for me now, I'm putting my little basket behind my head, i.e. my palms, and I'm just doing the leg stuff. Now, as you do this, keep your legs really long and keep your belly drawn down to the floor. Now, both legs up, head to the ground if it's not there. Grab a hold of both legs, bring them in toward you. Nice. Bend the knees. Place your feet into the mat, parallel to one another. Draw your navel down. All right. Arms come up. Palms come together. Intertwine. Slip your palms under your head. Elbows are bent all the way out to the sides. Now, before you come up, I want to go down to the belly, get some awareness there. Draw your navel down, 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 down. I want you to notice that the deeper you draw your abdominal muscles toward the mat, the more you get this a little pelvic tilt, right? The bottom of your lower back is kind of lifting. Keep that pelvic tilt. Now, face is directly up to your ceiling. Elbows stay out to the side. Lift the face to the ceiling and pulse. Pulse. Looking straight up, everyone. Upper abdominals. Pulse. Pulse. Again, if you want to connect to the body, if you don't feel that these are the upper abdominals doing the work, you can take one of your hands above your belly this time, press the fingers in, dig them in, and notice as you lift, those upper abdominals contract. They contract. Yeah. All right. Keep it going. Lift it some more. Elbows out to the sides. Bring your knees to your chest. Flex both feet. Send both feet straight out. Bring it in. Send it out. Bring it in. Send it out. In. Out. In and hold and pulse at the top. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Take the soles of the feet together, knees out, bound angle pose with the legs. Now listen, Gently let the feet come toward the floor, but keep your legs in this pose, but don't quite touch, don't quite touch. Now, squeeze the feet together, open the knees as wide as you can. Yeah, you're going to feel your inner thighs and you're going to feel your glutes. Lift the chest a little higher. Pull the navel down, pull it down, pull it down. Now straighten the legs, bring them together, bring them back up to the ceiling. Back out to the side, down to the floor, hovering, straighten, lift. If it's too much for you to keep your head lifted during this move, please put it to the ground. No problem here. We're just using more upper abdominal muscles if you keep your head lifted. That's all. It's just a little extra. Now head to the ground if it is not. All right. Take your legs in a nice V position, arms in a T position, and make little circles right here with your heels out to the sides. Now bring your legs together and scissor kick them. So just look up there, see what's happening. The toes are pointing outward, the heels inward. Now make those V's, we're not going up and down yet, make those V's a little bigger, but with control. You're going to feel your thighs work with that. Now draw your navel down, chin to the chest. You're still relaxed in the neck. All right, ready? Now we're going to zigzag down toward the ground. So make the zigzags a little smaller. And then once you're over the ground, start coming up again. And bring it down again. Keep those legs long, keep pressing through the heels. Yeah, you're really working the belly here. Now bring it back up and bend both knees. Glue the legs together so that they're one big, thick leg. Pull your navel down to the ground, soften your shoulders, chin to the chest. We're going to go side to side with the legs, but do not allow the legs to touch the floor. Okay, there's where the work is, right? You're really kind of using your core muscles to control the movement of this big, thick leg. It's heavy. It's heavy. So that's why the abdominals are working. Okay, when the legs come to the left side of you, drop them into the ground. You're facing the ceiling. Now, if you want to, left hand can grab that top leg and lift that knee a little higher than the lower, just if that feels better. If that feels better on your lower back. Now bring the right arm up to the ceiling. Spread the fingers apart as much as you can. Push the fingertips toward the ceiling. Feel it open your shoulder. All right, and now just begin to move those fingers around. Look at those fingers. Look at all those little joints. Try to make all of those little joints work. Look at how many there are, right? You've got the tooth in the thumb. You've got the three. I'm including the knuckles and the others. Nice, nice. Okay, now blade shape. Squeeze them together. Now a fist. Punch that fist up toward the ceiling. Keep the arm bones where they are. Soften the hand and open it. Bring the arm overhead and then to the right and then over your hip and to the left. So it's just a real nice, gentle movement. You're just moving the arm bone within the shoulder joint. So nothing forced. And when you're circling, it's fine if that elbow gets, in fact, it's kind of nice if it gets kind of, soft and bent a little bit. Just really take an awareness to opening the right shoulder joint. That's what we're doing with this. Reverse. And then next time that right arm comes to the right side of you, let it fall to the ground. Make sure your head is straight, looking up at the ceiling. Stack those legs, so pull that top knee down if it needs to be. Press the legs together, pull your navel back, bring the legs back to center here, and then rock side to side and walk those sitting bones toward the bottom of your mat. Knees come in again. Okay, they're bent over your hips. Now press the legs together, pull your navel down. We're going side to side again with that one big thick leg that you've created. So notice how this is also core workout, right? Big time. But then you also get that nice lower back stretch and release that's intertwined in it. And when the legs come to the right side, let them drop into the floor. Soften your right shoulder and your left. Bring your left arm up. Spread your fingers apart as much as you can. Press the fingertips toward the ceiling. Now listen, when you're pressing the fingertips toward the ceiling, don't press down into the right shoulder. Okay, just bring it all from that left shoulder spot. Now that little movement or big movement where you get the knuckles, where you really get to work out all those teeny little joints of the hands. Blade shape. Fist as hard as you can. Make the hardest fist you can. Punch it up to the ceiling. Keep the arm bones there. Soften the hand. Bring it up and overhead and to the left. And then over the right hip and overhead again. There's your circle. Awareness in that left shoulder. So this is about the shoulder, right? So just place your awareness there. Reverse direction. And next time the arm comes to the left side, take it into the floor with the palms up. And slide that knee down if you brought it up a bit. Squeeze the legs together, pull the navel back, bring it back to center here. And side to side or circle. Just release your lower back in the way that you like to do it. All right. Crossing at the ankles, clasping under your thighs. Okay, get those feet up to your ceiling. Let it rock you forward, up to the ceiling and forward. Oh. And bring it all the way up. Okay. Coming into table pose now. And you know how to stack things up for table. So go ahead and do that. Okay. Now, from this place, fingers are spread apart, pressing into the hands, suction cupping at the palms. All right. So from here, what I want you to do is be aware of your neck being in alignment with the rest of your spine. So you're looking down at the mat. Keep pressing into the hands, using those arm muscles. Now, take the chin toward the chest. Hold it there, feeling a release in the back of your neck. Now slowly take your gaze to the mat. So you're lifting your head slightly, looking forward, and then bringing the chin back to the chest. So it's really slow. Now this is kind of deceiving. It seems like it would be not a big deal, but this is a mighty opener for the neck. Looking forward. Now, what if you looked up just a little? All right, chin to the chest. Now bring that neck in a nice neutral alignment. In other words, set up with the rest of the back. Press into the palms, lift the belly. All right, now elbows bend back just a little bit as the tail comes up, the udders drop. And then you face forward and lift from the crown of your head, right? You don't pull the back of your head towards your upper back. Instead, you lift up, pressing into those hands. Close your eyes here. Take your awareness to the very tip of your tailbone. Listen up. Lift your belly. Just lift your belly. That's all. Now scoop your tail toward the floor. Now lift the tip of your tail toward your belly and lift your belly toward the ceiling. Drop your head and you're in cat pose. Now make sure your fingers are spread out. Press into the palms. Now listen up. Gently draw the elbows out to the side just a little bit. Keep them nice and soft so that your inner elbows are facing each other. Okay, that's really opening your upper back and those muscles. Now take your chin to your chest again. This time turn your head to the right, back to the chest, to the left, back to the chest, to the right, back to center, and left. Now chin to the chest here. Drop your belly, lift your hips, cow pose, inhale. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Really work the breath into it, everyone. Full exhale, cat. Nice, deep inhale, cow. Bring it back to a flat back and listen up. Okay, now listen. Press your hips back, but don't round your back at all. Keep the back as straight as possible. Back, back, back. Now, as soon as you start rounding your back a little, the lower back, when you come back there, stop. Come forward a little bit, straighten that back. So I don't want you to round your tail under for this one. So just come back as far as you can with keeping a straight back without rounding the tail. Now, bring your elbows onto the mat and clasp your fingers, your hands together. Now push back a little bit more, trying to keep the back flat. So we're not rounding, trying to keep it back. What this does, everyone, is this simulates a squat position, believe it or not, in the back and in the pelvis. So if you don't like squats, this is an option. Now, your back here, the back is as straight as possible. Lift the belly, press into the elbows and the hands, and release back into table pose. All right, curl your toes. Walk your hands toward your knees. Now we're going to come up into a squat pose. So for those of you who don't like to squat, do another one of those flat-backed, modified child pose. I just made a name up, but that's kind of what it is. Okay, hands in Namaste Mudra. Soften those shoulders, press those elbows into the inner legs. Now listen, drop your torso. Drop it. No tension in the torso. Drop it some more. Okay, if you want to open your arms, and if you want even more, drop your head and give yourself a bind here. If you're giving yourself a bind, really keep those legs nice and open to open the arms and open the lower back. Keep the buttocks dropped down. Those of you who are in the either the bind or the arms out to the side, come back into your mudra pose. Reestablish yourself there. Press into the feet. Okay, both of them. I want you to feel the soles of both your feet. Now, lift from the pelvic floor between your pubic bone and your anus. Lift up there. Come on up. Star pose and open it up. Hinge from the hips. Come halfway down. Okay, look down at your mat. Turn the palms facing the ground. Now turn the palms up to the ceiling, pinkies forward. You're going to feel yourself using those triceps. Keep your pinkies forward, everyone. Draw the arms back, straight back, straight back. Palms are up. Now push the palms up as you drop your torso forward. Now bend the elbows, intertwine your fingers, straighten both arms, and press the knuckles up to the ceiling. Head is relaxed. If your feet aren't facing forward, face them forward or slightly toed in. Bend your knees, sit in a chair. It's a really wide chair. Push your buttocks back down there. Send your arms forward here. Turn your palms out to the sides, sweep them out, keep them out to the sides. Listen up, you're in your chair. Take your left fingertips in front of your feet, stay low, turn your torso to the right, right arm comes up. Who knew? Can you see what I'm doing? I'm gonna go sideways, just in case. I'm sitting in a chair. Okay, now right hand takes the place of the left. Turn it to the other side. Sit more deeply in that chair. Both arms come forward. Make sure your feet are facing forward or toed in. If they're not, change foot position. Come on up. Bring it into a star pose again. Okay, bring your arms out to the side. Turn your left palm back. Right palm forward. Bring your left arm all the way back, and then bend your elbow. Take the top of that hand into your back body. Release your left wing bone, left shoulder. Where are we going with this, you may ask? Right arm comes up, elbow bends. And then slowly take your right ear to your right shoulder. That's where we're going. Star pose to a neck release. Who knew? Oh yeah, this is a nice one. When you have a bind with that arm, so much more access to the left muscles in the neck there. All right, release the head. Bring that arm up again. Bring it to the side. Turn the right palm behind you. Release the left arm, left palm forward. Bring that right arm back. Remember what we did? Bend the elbow, take the top of that arm or hand into your lower back. Now listen, now you got to soften the right shoulder, because after you put a bind in, there's a tendency for the shoulder to kind of crunch up. Now the left arm comes up, reach it, reach it, reach it. Bend the elbow, take a hold of the side of that head, and take the left ear to the left shoulder. Oh yeah, oh gosh, that's good. My neck has been sore lately. This is a nice release for it. And bring your head forward. Release the arm out to the side. Release the other arm to the side. Come on forward, everyone. We're coming all the way down. We're going to invert right here, right now. Yeah, nice inversion pose. Heel toe, heel toe. Get those legs a little wider. Feet are toed in or looking straight ahead. Now, palms into the ground, straighten the arms to lift you, pick up that belly, walk your hands forward. We're coming into a wide dog here. Press back, drop your head between your biceps, lift your tail, soften those shoulders. Glide forward, walk your hands back. All right. Take a look at your right foot. Okay. Turn your right foot toward the front or the back of your mat. I don't know what position you're in. And then look at that back foot. Turn that at about 45 degrees. All right. And then, you know what? Let's go into a down dog. Let's do that first. Down dog. I was going to set up for warrior, but I think we should start with a dog tonight here. All right, hips are nice and warmed up. Abs have been worked on. Shoulders as well. So this dog should feel pretty good. All right, bend your right knee. Press your left heel way back to open up your left calf muscles. Now press forward into the palms to draw your chest back. Breathe into the back of that left leg. Switch legs. Left heel up, right heel back, press back. Keep your belly lifted. Now drop both heels back. Glide your body forward until you're in a plank pose. If you need to move your feet back to get more length, go for it. Press deeply into the hands. Feel this in your chest. Drop your knees to the ground, kick your feet up, cross at the ankles. Now, wrists are just a little bit in front of your shoulders here, and arms a little bit wider than your shoulders. Fingers are spread. Pull your navel up. Listen, I want you to keep your back as straight as possible. Just bend the elbows back. Lift your belly, pull those elbows in close to you. Hold it here. Breathe here. Keep those shoulders away, push down, elbows drawn in, straighten it up. Bend, straighten, bend, straighten, little push up. Yoga style. Straighten. Let's get back into dog. Lift it up. All right, left foot comes in a bit, right leg lifts up. Drop that left heel. Pick that right heel up to the ceiling. Draw the navel back toward your spine. Turn your hips to the right. Lift your right ankle higher. Pulse it to the ceiling. Notice you get that sensation in your right glutes, also in your left inner thigh when you do this. Keep that right foot flexed, everyone. Keep everything strong. Keep it lifted. Bend the knee. Let it roll back a bit. Circle the foot. Press deeply into that left hand. More to keep the left shoulder strong and open. Reverse the foot circling. Straighten the right leg. Turn those hips toward the mat. Look forward. Right foot between your hands. Lunge time. As opposed to lunchtime. Okay, press the left heel back. The toes are rolled. Squeeze the left butt cheek. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Nice. Straighten the right knee. Walk your hands back, fingertips facing forward. Okay, hands are nice and relaxed under your shoulders. Now bend the elbows to just drop down over that leg. Bend your right knee again. Walk your hands forward. Turn your left foot out about 45 degrees. You may need to walk your right foot a little closer to the right side of your mat. Lift up, warrior one. Oh, yeah, reach it up, 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 up. Nice. Take your hands in Namaste Mudra. Squeeze your left butt cheek. Press the energy into the edge of your left foot. Take your mudra to your heart. Okay, it's a strong mudra. You're really pressing your hands together. Lift your elbows. Turn your fingertips toward you. Wrists away from you. Now fingertips slowly rotate forward. Look at those inner wrists. Bring them toward you. Yeah, nice, nice, nice. Sit a little deeper. Straighten that back leg, use it. Now bring the hands in a nice relaxed mudra at the heart. Draw your navel back. Turn to the left. Open your left arm. Open your right arm. And you're in warrior two. Let the back arm fall. Let the front arm come all the way up to the ceiling and drape over your right ear. Back to warrior two. Listen up. Press into your right foot to activate your right thigh. Press into your back foot to activate your back thigh. Now listen, this is subtle. Feel as if you're squeezing. No, let's take it from another way. Feel as if you want to slide your feet toward one another, but they're stuck in your mat. There's activation of that inner thigh area. Now reach out toward the right fingertips. Drop the right arm. Left arm comes up. Press that right arm into your leg so you can rotate and open your torso. Binders, you can put a bind in here. For deep binders who have both arms bound, you can straighten that front leg and drop your head. Release the bind if you have one. Reach that left arm over your ear. Turn your torso towards your mat. Reach the right arm all the way out next to the left, reaching forward here. Come on up. Turn your arms, I'll look forward so you can see. Turn your arms to the side, or bring your arms to the side in cactus pose. Now pull those elbows down to your lower back and lift your chest. Just fan it open toward your ceiling. So remember, you're growing from the spine from the lower back up, right? Versus using your lower back. You're lifting from the chest instead. Back to warrior one. Bring it down. We're moving into pigeon pose. So right foot to the left side of your mat. Right knee toward the right. Send your left leg back. And then slowly come down. Now, if you're at home, well, where else would you be? Because you're at home, what you can do is have some pillows handy. For example, in this pose, bring some pillows. You can bring pillows under your chest so you can just really like drop into the pillows. Especially, if you can't get your body all the way down. Breathing into that right hip. And slowly lifting up, swinging that back leg forward. Okay, make sure the leg is coming straight out of the hip. So look down at your thigh. Imagine where your femur is in the middle, and that's making a nice L shape with the front of your hip. Okay, so leg is coming straight out. And then the right sole of the foot into the inner thigh, fingertips to the ground, bring it forward, keep your back straight. Okay, now just drag that heel and the hip on the left leg back. And now slowly come down over your left leg. Okay, don't force anything, just take it easy. Easy, easy, coming down. Can you feel your breath in this pose? And slowly lifting up. Taking that right knee up, clasping over that shin, working the heel as close to your right buttock as possible. Okay, now listen, this is really internal. This is isometric, but it's strong. Elbows out to the sides, shoulders down. Push your front body forward. Now squeeze your arms into your legs. Keep your shoulders nice and low. Now wrap your left arm around that leg. Take your right fingertips behind you. Pull your navel back. Turn your navel toward your right inner thigh. Right, just another rotation for the spine. Another twist for the spine here. And come forward. Okay, drop that right knee again. Take the left leg back. Palms are under your chest. Curl the back toes. Lift the leg. Squeeze the butt cheek. Press into the hands. You can do it. Send the right leg back. Lift up. All right. Right foot comes in just a bit. Left leg lifts up. Drop the right heel. Flex that left heel and lift it higher. Turn the hips to the left. Notice that you've shifted weight into that right arm. Press that right hand into your mat to keep the right arm strong and the right shoulder open. Lift the left ankle and pulse it to the ceiling. Remember to keep the leg nice and long with a flexed heel. This is really controlled, everyone. Lift it a little higher, bend the knee, twist the hip some more. Now you can circle that foot to get the ankle. Straighten that leg, turn your hips toward your mat again. Look forward, left foot comes forward between your hands. All right. Okay, back foot, the toes are curled. Charge into the left foot. Come on and press into it until you feel those thighs ignite. Now straighten that leg. Drop that right heel back. Move the hands back until they're under the shoulders and relaxed. Now bend the elbows back and drop your torso toward that leg. Bend the knee, bring the hands up. Turn the foot out about 45 degrees. Come on up, warrior one. Reaching up there, squeezing the right butt cheek, pressing into the outer edge of the right foot, charging into the left. Now you can sit deeper because your legs, You just powered them up. Hands into a namaste mudra. Bring it to your heart. Turn it to the right as much as you can. Keep the left knee, check it out, over the left ankle. Don't let it migrate inward. Now release the right arm and the left arm. And you're in warrior two. You can look over the left middle finger. That's your drishti. Rotate that left palm up. Drop the back arm. Lift the front one up and over. Back to warrior two. Reach it out. Drop the left arm. Lift the right. Turn your torso to the right. So it's not facing the ground here. You're not like this. This left arm can actually push into that leg and turn you. Binders. Here's your opportunity to bind. There's probably a couple deep binders out there. If you are, try to straighten that front leg and drop down. Just a little added challenge. Release. Release your bind for your binders. Arm over your ear. Turn your torso to the ground. Left arm comes forward. Reach, 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 reach. Come up. Sit down deeper into your pose. Feel both feet. Press into them. As if you want to pull your feet together. So there's always this pulling in towards center that energizes everything. Turn your palms forward, bend your elbows, cactus arms. Drop your shoulders, don't have them lifted. Take the arms back. As you press, listen, it's a two-pronged thing. You're pressing down as you're lifting up with your heart. Lift, 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 lift. Huge heart opener right here. Back to warrior one. We're coming forward, down into pigeon pose here. If you're a pigeon on your back person, just roll it over to your back. Left ankle at the top of the right thigh here. Grab under the right thigh, pull it toward you. If you're on the ground, remember those pillows you can use. Get those hips nice and level and then drop. And slowly lift it up. Swing that right leg forward. All right, left sole of the foot into the right inner thigh. Fingertips come forward, hinge. So bend the elbows back as you bring your body forward. And as you bring your body forward, look for a nice straight back. Now drag the right foot and the right hip back. And we're going to fall down right over them. Or right over it, right over your right leg, sorry. So try to make this pose really passive. Just kind of, get down as deep as you can, then just soften up into it. Release and bring it up. Bring the left knee up. Okay, intertwined fingers at that shin, that left shin. And then you just keep getting that heel in a little closer. Okay, and then once you have it, you find a place that's nice and comfy for your arms to be holding onto your shin. And then bring the elbows out to the sides. Push the body forward. Draw the shoulders down. Now squeeze the elbows into yourself as you press forward with your torso. Yeah. You're also pressing back with the shin. All right, and release here. Both legs forward. Rock side to side, open up the base. Now, see what I'm doing? I'm coming forward as I'm stepping, kind of like we do on our back when we walk our hips toward our mat, toward the edge of our mat. This time you're walking the hips back behind you, and then just come over your legs for a nice, easy forward fold, just a really easy one. We're just kind of getting everything back into calibration and neutralized here. And coming back up. All right, coming into a standing pose, and then bring the feet about hip distance or more. And inhale up. All right, we're going to waterfall. Palms are facing each other. Feet are parallel. Remember, when you waterfall, you want to sit back in the chair when the arms swing back. So here we go. Inhale, exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Four more. Three more. Make them good. Two more. Here's your last one. Stay down. Oh yeah, just dangle, dangle. Let's put our hands under our feet. We worked out our hands a little bit. Palms are up, pressing the soles of your feet and your toes into your palms, really pressing into them. Now bend your elbows to the side, drop your head. Soften those wing bones, let them really slide out to the sides of your body. Release your hands. Elbows are bent. Clasp opposite elbows. Drop your head again. Rock side to side if you feel like it. Back to center. Release the arms and slowly roll up. All right, nice standing pose. So feet hip distance or closer. And arms up overhead. Inhale. Exhale. Forehead to the fingertips. Drop inside right here. And taking it down to your bellies. Crocodile pose. So you're stacking the palms, feet are toed in, relaxing your forehead on your top hand, and just releasing everything here. Okay, so keep your head connected to the top of your hand. Keep it there. Lift your arms up off the mat. Now your legs. Really press out through your feet. Make the arms and the legs really long. Now bring the arms out to the sides. Lift your chest a little more, but don't look forward. You're looking down at the mat, neck is relaxed. Bring your arms close to your body. Locust pose. Bring your arms to the sides. Bend your elbows. Reattach your forehead to the tops of your hand and drop down. Feel your belly moving into your mat, releasing your lower back with that movement. All right, palms chest level. Make sure that your feet are still toed in. And this time, bring your legs a little closer, closer than hip distance, hip width. All right. So remember, everyone, when we do this, it's recruiting back muscles. This is all about strengthening the back. So press into your hands as little as possible to keep the arm muscles out of it. Lift your pubic bone, roll it towards your belly button, drop it down again. And here we go. Slowly peel your front body off your mat using the muscles of your back. And then, of course, for those back benders, you're going to need to use those arms some more. And then bring those elbows in when you come down and take the weight out of your hands as soon as you can. Forehead to the mat, little kiss. One more time, bring it up. Twist at the top if that feels good. Bring it back down. And then turn your head to one side. Release your arms along the sides of your body. And then slowly turn your head to the other side. And then bring your palms to the ground, chest level again. Lift up into table pose. Make space between your fingers, press into your palms, lift your belly. Now this time as you come back into child's pose, really round that lower back on the way down. Round the tail under. Let's get the lower back. And drop into your child's pose. And when you're ready, turn it over and come into Shavasana. Okay, unfortunately, okay, I'm gonna move. There's some noise out here. They're mowing the lawn or something. I'm gonna move here. Oh yeah, this is quieter. All right, so eyes closed. And go for that equal breath. And this time you may want to increase the length of the inhale and the exhale. You may want to increase that now. Every time the body exhales, feel it become heavier, more at ease. You've had over an hour of pose practices, so now you're nice and warmed up, everything's flowing. So feel the mind settle as the body settles. And then also notice the part of you that can observe all of this. It can observe your mind, it can observe your body, right? That's your awareness. Okay, that's deep, deep stuff. That's sometimes called the soul consciousness. Okay, so right here, this experience is yoga, the union of the mind, the body, and the spirit. And when it's aligned like this, it's very freeing and open. Just breathe into that vastness. Feel as if you're really bringing in, you're drinking in every inhale. And every exhale is just flowing out from your body. New breath, new energy. Next inhale. And now, in this evening's Shavasana, if you'd like to set a prayer, a sankalpa, or an intention, you can do that now. Next breath, release it. And beginning your transition here in whatever way that you like. You may want to stretch. Maybe no movement at all. Maybe just a mental shifting. And then when you're ready, roll to your right side. If you don't like the right side, roll to your left. Then slowly make your way to seated pose. And once you get to seated pose, arms stretched out wide, heart open. Bring your arms up, inhale. Exhale, bring it down. Namaste. Sorry about that little bell there. All right. Okay. Everyone, have a great week. And I will see you next week, hopefully. I guess that's it. If anyone ever has any questions, feel free to email me. Or, of course, unmute and tell me now. Ask me now, whatever. Okay. Bye,
Thank you.
everyone. You're welcome.